I'm the Avatar, and I'm gonna save the world. With my friends.
Based on the global phenomenon, Netflix live-action adaptation of the acclaimed anime series Avatar: The Last Airbender follows Aang, the young Avatar, as he learns to master the four elements: water, earth, fire, and air, to restore balance to a world threatened by the terrifying Fire Nation.
Now, Paul Sun-Hyung Lee and Danielle Day Kim join us now to tell us more about this exciting series. Great to see you both. Thank you for joining us. Daniel, first to you. What can fans expect from Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Wow, it's a good question. There's a lot to expect. If you're a fan of the original series, I think you'll find that we bring a lot from the original series in a respectful way, and there are a lot of Easter eggs for the real fans of the show, the original show. And for those who've never seen the series, there's a compelling storyline, amazing effects, great costumes, and above all, great performances and compelling storytelling.
Speaking of performances, Paul, could you tell us about your audition and then the moment you found out you landed the role?
Yeah, absolutely. When I first auditioned for it, I didn't know it was for Avatar. I thought it was a basketball movie. It was actually the role of Iroh. His name was Howard, and he was a basketball coach who's coming out of retirement to help his nephew, who's a basketball prodigy. And I got a call back for it, and with the callback, the second round, they said, "Oh, and by the way, his name isn't Howard, it's Iroh." And that's when all of a sudden it's like, "Oh my God, I know what this is for." And so immediately the stakes jumped up like 1,000%. And I really, really wanted the part. And I actually found out, I did the callback, I did a chemistry read, and I didn't hear anything for a couple of weeks. And I thought, oh, well, I've lost the part. Oh, well. And I was at a car dealership with my wife, and we were just about to sign the dotted line for the lease when I got a call from my agent saying, "Hey, we need to talk." And I thought, oh, it's either really good news or really bad news. And so I went out into the parking lot to just sort of have a private conversation. I found out I got the role. I yelled at the top of my lungs, and I forgot there were a bunch of people in the lot. And they all sort of looked at me and they said, "It's okay, it's good news, it's good news, it's great news." And so, yeah, no, it was a very, very harrowing, but like fantastic experience.
Did you get the car?
We did.
Nice.
We did. The salesman was like, "Is he okay?" Because I literally stood up just before I was about to sign, and I walked out, and my wife was like, "Yeah, I think he's okay."
Yeah, I was going to ask, did you go back in and say, "Yeah, I'll take the floor mats as well with the card"?
Exactly, right.
That's right.
Daniel, you get to play a true villain this time around. What was that like?
A lot of fun. It really was. It's one of the reasons I became an actor is because I wanted to play all sorts of roles, ones that were like me and ones that were not. And, the fact that you get licensed to be someone you're not is, a thrill. And I hope I'm not a lot like Ozai, but I think I can find a kernel of something I can connect to in every character. And certainly in his case, I can.
And Paul, what does it mean for you as an Asian Canadian to be cast in a franchise of this magnitude?
The world. Honestly, it is such a tremendous honor. And it's a responsibility that I don't take lightly, especially being a fan of Avatar. I grew up watching television and not seeing very many people that look like me in narrative-driving roles.
You mean Canadians?
Canadians? Mr. Smart Guy over here. He's doing it. Yeah, no, Canadians, especially Asian Canadians, actually.
That's true.
Right? So it's empowering when you see people who look like you and they're not being made fun of or like sort of put in the background where they're driving the narrative. It's inspiring. And I hope that this inspires the next generation of Asian performers to come up and sort of go, "Hey, look, Mom, Dad, look, there's success stories out there. Let me give it a shot," right? And I and it's not just in front of the camera, it's behind the camera, directors, producers, writers, that whole creative process, I think, is something that will inspire another generation of Asian artists.
And Canadian artists.
Canadian Asian artists.
Finally, you talk about being a huge fan of this series. Obviously, it's got a big, passionate fan base. And just wondering, making this, knowing that fan base is out there, is that exciting? Is that intimidating? Is it a bit of both, maybe?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's absolutely both. You know, there is, like I said, we didn't take that responsibility lightly. There's enough of the original series in there that feels comforting, but there's enough change in there that it's going to be exciting because it's new content. And the plus side of that is it brings in a whole other legion of fans who are new to it. And as a fan, I love doing that, is sharing with other fans and growing the thing you love and sharing that. So I think, yeah, no, it is a big responsibility and something that, you know, you really want to do well for the fans.
And you can catch Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you, guys.